UFC 325, Volkanovski and Lopez. Andy and Jim here breaking down all the fights. We are not going to break down the road to UFC fights. Jim and I don't follow that too much, and I have not really had a lot of success predicting those, so we're not going to waste anybody's time pretending like we know what we're doing. If you do have some picks, I would love to hear them. Put them in the comment section below. If you followed Road to UFC, I know there's a couple people on our Discord that have put them below, but I am not your guy for Road to UFC. We did have 4 winners last week in the contest. We're going to do another contest this week. So congratulations, B-Dog Bets, Casey Miller, AMC 109J, and Max Newman. Here's what I need you guys to do. In the comment section, put your Wager Talk username, and we will send a 3-day pass your way. You don't need to do anything except put in the comment section what is your Wager Talk username, and you win a free 3-day pass. Let's do the contest this week. For the contest this week to win a free 3-day pass, how many significant strikes in the Tuivasa Taliesin Teixeira fight? We'll be using UFC.com's official stats after the fight. So put your number. Jim, this one could be 5 or 130. Just combined between the two fighters. Put it right there in the comment section. So, all right, let's start breaking down the UFC fights. We start with Ofli and Yizha. Jim, coming to you first. What do you make of this fight?
Well, first of all, we are not making a Awfully joke. we already hit that one out of the park the first time, even if we have one queued up. I am going to continue to fade Khan until he is no longer in the UFC. He will not be in the UFC for a long time. This is not a guy that is going to make some kind of big turnaround. He gets the victory over the shell of a fighter in Ricardo Ramos, which I think we could all safely say is a shell of what he possibly could have been. He'll be one of those guys we look back on and go, just a dude with all the potential in the world and just could not get it together. So that is the type of fighter that I expect a Khan Ofli to beat. Yizha not being a top tier guy, but this is obviously a guy that wants to be pushed by the UFC. He has value in the market. I'm going to continue to fade Khan Ofli. He beats Weston Wilson, which is not the impressive win, but he does it by finish and does it convincingly. After last week, we talked about a couple things, and it's not so much like that you fought a fighter that's a fade and one that you pass off, but when you fight fighters that are a fade, you got to finish them. You got to get them out of there. And that's what Yizha did. So I don't see the upside in Khan Ofli. I don't see the upside in the wrestling to be able to control the fight. And on the feet, I just think there's going to be more power and more firepower from the Yizha way. So I will go with Yizha.
I'm with you. It's a little bit chalky. I think it's actually priced correctly. So if you're saying, well, where's the value in it? I don't know. But listen, if you want to go back and watch this fight against Ricardo Ramos, Khan Ofli would be 0-3 in the UFC if he did not grab the fence multiple times. I have such a big problem with how the UFC doesn't enforce this, because I don't care if even you're like 1 point, like he changed positions. This fight went from a probable loss to a win for him. Like, he was getting dominated and he used the fence like it was awfully bad. sorry, I couldn't help myself. But it was some of the worst fence grabs we've seen. I mean, it was Taliesin Teixeira got deemed knocked out because he used the fence to pull himself up against Derek Lewis. So, yeah, I'm not with Ofli. The submission looks good on paper, but it's Ramos that makes all the mistakes. And yeah, I'm with you. Yizha, I just think, is going to be a little bit stronger. And Gabriel Santos is a real fighter. That's a tough UFC debut, and he took him the distance. And yeah, Weston Wilson, not a great fighter, but knock him out in 37 seconds. That's the assignment. That's what you're supposed to do. So I'm with you. I think Yizha gets it done. I would not be surprised if Yizha gets the knockout, even though Yizha's pretty good on the ground. He's got a lot of submissions on his record, but I just think the striking is going to be a little bit better. Moving on to Jonathan Micallef against Elliott, my boy, Elliott. Jim, what do you think?
Originally, when I first looked at this, I wanted to be all over Jonathan as a play, and I heard a lot of people that I respect talk about how Elliott is a challenge here. I went and did my own tape study, and I think I figured out Micallef, why people don't like him. He doesn't do anything clean at all. Like, it's just not clean. It's awkward on the feet. He has this look on his face when he's fighting where he looks like he's in pain or scared. But it's just the optics are bad. It's not the way the guy fights. So I think the eye test is what sways people to Oban Elliott in this position. And I'm sorry, I just don't agree when I look at it side by side. I think there is a massive upside for Micallef in the grappling if he gets to a dominant position. The striking, albeit awkward, is way more threatening than Oban Elliott's striking as far as a power perspective. He throws to the body. If we see the gas tank start to go with Elliott and Micallef can use the grappling, especially if he goes to the body early, I think it's going to look pretty dominant on the ground for Micallef in this spot. Again, we talk about the fighter having to understand the assignment. Here's the deal, Jonathan. Don't get clipped early. Continue to wear down Oban Elliott and then implement your grappling. And if Oban decides to engage in the grappling early, I think that's going to tend to favor Micallef. So, home soil, they're making Elliott travel. Again, the record is not great. It's just always Oban Elliott is So, I'm going to go with Micallef. I'm going to drink the Australian Kool-Aid, which I guess would be Vegemite flavored, perhaps. I'm not sure.
Ew.
I'm going to
Ew.
go with him. I'll go with the Australian.
Ew.
I know.
Vegemite flavored Kool-Aid. So you think Oban Elliott's the one that looks like he's in pain and like kind of just
No,
doesn't.
Micallef.
Micallef? Okay.
Mhm.
All right. I'm gonna side with Oban Elliott. I have had a damn good read on this guy. Um, Picked him against Woodward, Parsons, and Hafez, and I said he was going to lose to Ko, and he did. My knock on him was that he thinks too much. He's not a natural fighter. The movements are just too slow, and Ko was able to outmaneuver him on the ground, hold him down, and get him really, really frustrated. I'm just not sure that Micallef is the guy to do that. Um, Really good triangle. Who triangles somebody in these days? But that was October 2024, was a while ago. Beats Kevin Jusset, who we know Kevin Jusset is pretty bad. He used his striking, but I gotta be honest, I didn't think his striking was that crisp and that clean. And I think Oban Elliott's going to give him a real run for his money. And I don't think Micallef is going to have the slick takedowns and maneuvering on the ground that Ko did that really got Oban Elliott frustrated. I think they'll make some adjustments. And at plus money, I think Oban is a pretty sneaky play. I think people are going to be pretty down on him from last fight. In my view, that was a fight he should have lost as a big favorite. He did lose. I think this is a nice rebound spot. So Jim and I will have a little fun going head to head on this one. Malkoun versus our boy Torres Finney. I've heard some people say that Torres Finney's a fan favorite. Is that right? Is that true? Does that strike you as something that's an accurate statement? I don't know. I guess it really doesn't matter here.
Depends what you're a fan of. Are you a fan with good fights or are you a fan with storylines?
That's
Because
a
he's
good
got
point.
a good storyline. That's about
Does
it.
it?
His fights leave a lot to be desired.
What do you think of this one?
I would love to bet Malkoun, but the red flag, and this is something that you have to stick to. I still want to bet Malkoun. I want to bet Malkoun by finish. I want to be all over betting Jacob Malkoun, but I'm not going to do it because I cannot bet on a wrestler post back or neck surgery. It does not matter who it is. I don't care. I don't care if they say they're 100%. I don't care if it was a year and a half ago. If it's their first fight back from back or neck surgery, I will not put my money there until you prove to me that you are back 100%. That being said, the way I see this fight playing out is that Torres Finney's going to look damn good in round one. About 2.5 minutes in, I think he's going to look like a juggernaut. And I just don't see anything in the background and the backstory with Torres since his last fight. From what he's been doing, it doesn't seem like a whole lot has changed, that his fight style is going to change. He has way too much muscle on him, and that muscle requires oxygen. And those muscle takedowns require oxygen. He is like a star that burns too bright. If he could
Okay.
just slim down, he probably would be unstoppable. But I don't believe the man has 3 rounds of full on cardio in him. Now, does Jacob Malkoun? Maybe he does, but with his hampered status from the back injury, I can't get there. I would think that Finney's going to look good early. I think you're going to be able to get a really good number on Jacob Malkoun, and you're just watching for the adrenaline dump. Keep in mind, it's also been brought up as far as live bets goes. It looked like I know us on our stream, we were about 45 seconds behind. So keep that in mind when
Yes.
you're betting live. Make sure that you're not too far behind the live feed because this is going to be one you're going to have to get on. The second that Torres Finney looks like he's gassing, you're going to see the line flip. And it's going to go to Malkoun. And from there, it's a question of whether or not Malkoun can stuff the takedown. If this is on the feet, I think it's Malkoun all day, which is wild to say because I don't see any threat from him on the feet. But Torres Finney striking is just, when he's tired, those punches come from a long way away and they're very easy to be seen and countered. So, really, all Malkoun's going to have to do is jab his face off for 2 rounds if he can keep it on the feet. I don't see Torres Finney winning the striking affair. A bet where I want to get to with this fight is fight goes the distance when we get that. I think we're going to have two guys that are managing cardio, and it's going to be a very positionally aware fight where they're going to be working for position, not so much working to finish, unless one guy just completely falls off a cliff.
Yeah, I like this one too. I wonder what Malkoun's strategy is going to be. Is he going to abandon the wrestling and just say, I'm going to try and jab and keep it distance to get away from this tank? Like, can he stick and move in the first round and tire out Finney with Finney chasing him around?
I would
I
love to
don't.
see him push the wrestling. I just don't know if he can.
I think you'd kind of be crazy to push the wrestling with Finney, the guy that's that strong that can literally just outmuscle a position. So I'm with you that the fight goes a distance. These guys are not finishers. I mean, Petrosky knocked
Knocked himself
himself
out.
out. Now he was getting ready to finish
Oh,
Cody
yeah.
Brundage.
Hmm.
He was absolutely getting ready to finish Cody Brundage, but I just don't put Finney in that level of I quit. Um, So other than that, a lot of decisions here. And Torres Finney, unless he's fighting a complete bum, he doesn't seem like the guy that is gonna, finish guys. With the distance, Camp Rowston just held Valentin down. So I agree with you on fight goes the distance for no other reason than the back injury, and I'm not sure Malkoun's cardio is. It's just a long layoff for somebody that is coming off of back surgery. We don't like these guys with these injuries, like you said. So for that reason, I'll side with Torres Finney. I will not be betting on a side in this one. The only thing I could possibly think of playing with money is fight to go. Even then, I'm not sure it's the strongest bet on the card. Moving on to speaking of Cody Brundage, he's fighting Cam Rowston. I mean, if anybody, if it's your first time watching, first off, thank you. Second, you know that we hate Cody Brundage and Mark Smith with the heat of 1,000 suns for what they did to us against Jacob Malkoun. And it's just not a Cody Brundage that I want to bet on, can bet on. This literally, to me, is Cam Rowston. Can he avoid us an eye poke or a shot to the balls? Because Cody
Yes.
Brundage will take his ball and he will go home. This is a guy who argued to get a fight overturned to a no a
It's a no contest.
yeah.
Right?
Like that's what Cody Brundage is. He is about quitting. He is not about fighting. He is not about like going into deep waters. He's not even going into shallow waters. You give him the slightest reason to quit, he will. If he feels like he is losing to Cam Rowston and there's the slightest hint of a penalty or a foul, he will milk it for all his worth. He will quit, and he would rather take the no contest rather than start the fight up again. That is literally my only concern with this one. I can't believe I'm saying, but that is where we are with Cody Brundage. His ground game ain't that good. His wrestling ain't that good. His striking definitely ain't that good. His cardio ain't that good. Cam Rowston, on the other hand, we followed Rowston. I'm glad that he got another chance. Like,
Mm-hmm.
loses that decision to Torres Finney, And they could have easily thrown him on the scrap. Well, you couldn't beat that guy, but he goes off, wins a few, comes back, nukes Brandon Holmes, legit knocks out Andre Petrosky, and he's found this level of violence that I don't know if we thought he had in him. He's big, he's strong, he's better striking miles. But it's just avoid the foul. I don't know how you can handicap this, Jim.
It's exactly how you handicap it. There is no other assignment. Like Cam, if Cody shoots in, don't even strike. Don't strike. Just defend the takedown. Like, get it back to standing where you can look him in the eye while you're punching him in the face. If you can't see Cody's eyes, you cannot throw a strike because he will find a way to make it a DQ or make it an illegal strike. And he will take all 5 minutes. He will come back and fight. And the next time something glances of being an illegal strike, it will be, I'm falling to the ground, collapsing. Some of them have been legit where he's gotten hit to the back of the head, but let me sum this up in one sentence here. I live bet Eric McConaughey as one of my biggest bets of the year. And guess who he was fighting? Cody Brundage. We watched that fight and said Cody's done. And it was Eric McConaughey at a great price. And we get the decision win there, albeit a split. Still, you cannot go to split with Eric McConaughey. It's not allowed in the UFC. The thing with Cody is that he is a wrestler, but he doesn't hold position very well. I mean, how many times have we seen Cody get a takedown or land a big shot in the first round, and then by the end of the round he's on his back, and the guy's on top of him, or he's wobbled against the fence. So there's these moments where, of course, anybody can get knocked out, anybody can get a finish, anybody can get a choke. But he just can't find a way to get there. And I think that really speaks to the UFC level skill of him, and I don't think it's there. Cam on the feet should butcher Cody Brundage. At range, long jab. We saw that from Rowston in his last fight, that he really figured out how to work his length. And that Torres-Finney fight might have been the fight where he really understood, listen, I am bigger than these guys. I cannot let them get on the inside. I need to use my length and strike at range. And I just don't see the head movement from Cody Brundage to be able to avoid it. So for me, it's Rowston. I think it's Rowston by finish. And you're just holding your... by the way, if your book has by finish, make sure you also play the DQ as well, all right? Because just in this fight, make sure you got all your bases covered, for sure. Fight doesn't go is one I absolutely love as well. If you can parlay that, I think you just take this fight to end with violence and pray to God there's no DQ.
It's the worst. It's the worst. All right, Junior Tafa and Billy Elekana.
Wait a minute, you just said he was the worst. Are you sure? Let's talk about Junior Tafa.
Well, I mean, he's the worst in terms of the quitting and all that stuff. You want to talk about the worst in terms of skill level? Listen, anytime I can bet against a Tafa, I'm in, and I really like this matchup. I'll go to you first, but Billy Elekana all day for me.
It's real simple. Billy Elekana, if has a brain cell in his mind, he's going to wrestle. Just please wrestle. Please. Do not come out. You know, Billy, just here's a little tip here. All finishes get $25K, not just knockouts. All right? So you don't have to knock the guy out. Just take this man down, and he will lay there and let you decide which limb you would like to tear off of him. And he will give it to you on a silver platter, and he will tap quick. It will be quick and easy. You still get $25K. Just take this man down and make it a wrap and fly home from Australia, all right? Do your thing. Get your finish. You have a great, great, great read on the Tafas. I don't want to steal any of your words. Please go on Junior Tafa.
So Junior Tafa keeps moving weight divisions, and he's losing in all of them. You know how they have like the double belt? Like Tafa is going to be like, I've lost in 5 weight divisions by the end of his career. I invite you to go back and watch him lose convincingly to Tuco Tokos. This Sean Sheriff fight, you look at on Tapology. Oh, punches, round 2. Go look at those 2 gas bags who were exhausted in the first round. To say it was a knockout is a light interpretation of the word knockout. Gets tapped by Walter Walker. Leg kicks. This is where he subbed for his brother. Remember that? Where his brother like withdrew. So he goes in there and he gets leg kicked. He knocks out Parker Porter, pre-steroids Parker Porter, and then goes to decision against Muhammad Usman. I keep hearing about this awesome power that he has. I don't see it just because you knocked out a guy on Ryzen and Brave. He can't defend
his
leg
only
kick.
knockout is Parker, right? Only knockout is
Yeah,
three-wood
Parker Porter,
That's it.
who everyone knocked out when he
And
was
who's not a
in
heavyweight naturally. Like it,
Yeah. So Tafa, he has no cardio. He absolutely has no wrestling. He can't defend leg kicks. Like he's just got a couple. He literally has a couple of flurries, and then that's it. Billy Elekana, he was in LFA, and then he went to PFL. So he comes over, and we got to remind everybody about this loss to Guskov. He took that fight on a couple days' notice, and he said, "I'm going for broke in the first round because I'm not in shape. I can't go 3 rounds." It got Guskov down in the first round. Remember that. He had control of Guskov. Went for the finish, didn't get it. Yeah, that's what I mean. He had his back. And so he can do that. Then he just got tired. And then what happens when he has full camps? As a really boring fight against Ebo Aslam, but all he did was stay out of harm's way, piece his way to a win. So the cardio checked out. And then he did what he's supposed to do against Kevin Christian. Kevin Christian, all of his fights end in finishes, and he knocked Kevin Christian down, jumped on, and got his back. He can easily take Tafa. You could take Tafa. I could take Tafa down. So you're right. Billy Elekana, just don't get hit early. And literally, just don't get hit in the first half of the first round. You're good. He's not going to have any. And that's the other thing. Not only does Tafa get taken down easily, but he tires himself out, wiggling around and laying on his back. He doesn't know what he's doing.
It's wasted energy. It's not technical escape. He doesn't regain guard. If you watch him when he gets taken down, if you really want to know if somebody doesn't know what they're doing on the ground, when they get taken down, if they are flat on their back and their head is on the canvas, you've already accepted the position. One thing that you're taught, and all you guys in jiu-jitsu will agree with this, and anything, even judo, when you get taken down, you have to be there, awake, chin up, get your chin off the ground. Don't lay back and stare at the lights and expect to move. Get active with your legs. He doesn't do any of it. It's very, very rookie sprawls. It's very rookie reversals that don't work, and it just zaps your energy. You can see it plain as day. Anybody who's trained can look at it and say, what did I hear from someone too? They go, well, he's been in Thailand fighting. I go, you should be in Dagestan, son. Why are you in Thailand? Go to AKA, call up DC, somebody. Don't go to Thailand.
Well, he's been in India working on his wrestling.
Jeez.
No, it's Billy Elekana for me in this one. And it's a Tafa fight. I wouldn't be surprised if Elekana gets the sub. I don't know what that pays. I'm looking at it, but Billy Elekana by sub could be an interesting prop. So
we agree fight doesn't go. I don't think Tafa can go 3.
No, he can't go 3.
And if he's going to win, it's going to be a flash knockout.
Yeah. I don't see Tafa lasting 3 rounds. So there's a lot of ways to play this one if it plays out how we think it should. Quillen Salkilld against Jamie Mullarkey. Shout out to Jamie Mullarkey. Jumping in, being a company man, country man. Salkilld, I can't even remember who he was supposed to fight. Oh, that's right. Wrong zoo. That was be a great fight. He's coming off a brutal head kick against Hapcraft. I mean, that was one of the more violent head kicks you'll see. We've been all over Salkilld since Contender Series, and this man has not disappointed. He's one of those guys. He's only 26. Looks like he's 36. But he's coming into his prime. We really like this guy. And not much left for Jamie Mullarkey at this point. Coming off of a win against Rolando Bedoya, we will remind you that Rolando Bedoya has yet to win in the UFC. Can't put much into that one, but Mullarkey gets knocked out by Ruffy. Knocked out by Hapcraft is not a good look. Salkilld by finish, unless. Is there a thanks for saving this fight, I'm not going to finish you?
I'm so glad you brought this up. So glad you brought this up. And I hope I'm proven right with what I'm about to say. Because if I'm not, then I lose all faith in MMA and guys going for the finish and going for 25K. I don't think it's built into any of these Australians to just go out there and have a point fighting thank you contest. I just don't think it's in their mentality. They're a fighting culture. They're all about their own toughness and just, there's that scrappiness with the Australian fighters. I don't think they're built into that. I just don't. I don't. I will lean on my faith that they are going to deliver a finishing performance in this fight. Um, Plus, I don't know if Salkilld is far enough in his career where he can take things for granted. Like, if you want to get put up there, again, you're 25, your time is now. You make quick work of Jamie Mullarkey. We just saw the penalty for Nurmagomedov this week for taking the dead body of Fig and dragging it around the cage for 15 minutes.
It was embarrassing.
No post-fight interview. Take your stuff. Get out of my cage. And this is a guy that could have been fighting for the title next. And he pissed it away because he couldn't break away from, I'm just going to faint and this is our style. But I won. 30-27, I won.
Do your post-fight interview about being the next title. I should be champion. What was your thing? Your interview.
You just went to a hard-fought decision. I deserve to be champion. I need it. It's mine. It's for me. I must be champion. Give me 5 rounds. I win decision 5-0. Like, oh yay, wonderful, beautiful. Just really lackluster performance. And the UFC's made it really clear this year. They don't want that crap. You're going to see guys that do this getting cut. Go to PFL. Dana said it last year. Go ahead. Go to PFL. Make $3 million. Put on boring fights. That's not why you're here. And if he's going to do it to Nurmagomedov, then send him right out of the interview. He's going to do the same thing to these younger 25-year-old fighters as well. It's Salkilld. It's Salkilld by finish. Probably finish in rounds 1 and 2. The chin of Mullarkey is just toast. And also, let's put some respect on Nasrat Haqparas' name. I've heard the take. Salkilld was losing to Haqparas. He was losing. Yeah, he was losing. But you know what he did? He won the fight. It's like, it doesn't matter if you're losing. He won the fight. Okay? I thought it was a razor close fight. And he
Jim,
got the
it was
finish.
halfway
It wasn't
through the
Nasrat
first
running away.
It was halfway through the first round. What do you mean losing the fight?
It's wild to say. It's wild to say, but it's said, and I have to address this stuff because it's just, to me, it's lazy to say he's losing the fight to Haqparas, and he's lucky he got the head kick. It's 1 round. What are we doing here, guys? Like, are we going to be that nitpicky about a head kick knockout in the first? Like, he was losing the significant strikes battle. Yeah, well, Haqparas was unconscious before he hit the floor. That was a scary knockout. So put some respect on Nasrat Haqparas. Like, he's not a pushover, guys. He's a good fighter. And Salkilld made quick work of him. I think he does the same thing to Jamie Mullarkey. Thanks for the memories, Jamie. Appreciate it.
I haven't heard that take that he was losing.
I heard it. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it when I heard it.
Lost the first 2 minutes.
Losing that fight. Yep. Jump to conclusions, why don't we? Anyway.
Oh, all right. I needed a good laugh. That's good. All right, we move on to Tai Tuivasa and Taliesin Teixeira. Teixeira is the really big favorite. I'll just start this one off. Tai Tuivasa sucks, man. He's terrible. They trot him out for these Australian cards, and I mean, give me a break.
When you see the tapology, it really comes to light. It does.
I mean, the guy's lost 5 in a row. The split against Rosenstrike still goes down as one of the funniest split decisions of all time. But it's Rosenstrike. That shouldn't be that big of a surprise that Rosenstrike couldn't finish Tuivasa. But Tabura gets him out of there. Volkov, Pavlovich gone. I mean, we haven't seen a shoey since February of 2022. I don't expect a shoey here unless somebody else wins or unless Taliesin Teixeira wants to do it. It's Teixeira, it's KO. Tuivasa's just, I mean, the last time this guy fought was August of 2024. He just hangs around, collects a paycheck, goes out, throws some bombs. He's not that much in shape. I don't put too much into getting knocked out by that version of it. By the way, I'll take pre-peptide Derek Lewis over post-peptide Derek Lewis. Pre-peptide Derek Lewis looked a lot better than post-peptide Derek Lewis. So it was a flash knockout for Taliesin Teixeira. This is a nice rebound spot. The length, the reach. Taliesin in rounds 1 or 2 is the only way I can play this one. But there's no chance you're getting me to put money on Tuivasa or this fight to go the distance. What do you think?
Tuivasa stands right down the middle, and against a tall fighter like Teixeira, I think the jab and the straight right hand, more so the straight right hand, is going to be there all day for him. The big thing is if you're Ty, you're going to use the leg kicks and try to chop this tree down. And when Ty throws his leg kicks, he doesn't move his head. If you go back and you watch, sometimes he's not even looking at his opponent. He'll throw the leg kick with so much force that he turns his head to the side, and that right hand is just going to come right down the pipe. The reason why Teixeira got caught by Derek Lewis, was being a young new fighter, and I think he underestimated Derek Lewis. He underestimated him, thinking that he could play at range. And the one thing that Lewis had in that fight was explosiveness. He blitzed in. When is the last time that you saw Tai Tuivasa be able to blitz in close distance? Usually what you see is he goes to blitz in close distance, his opponent moves, and he ends up falling into the fence. Or I don't think he has the closing ability. The only way he gets this knockout is if Teixeira gets lazy, and we're coming off being taught a lesson from Derek Lewis, the knockout king, of you cannot be lazy at this level, even if you're supposed to win. And he was. He's supposed to beat Derek Lewis. He just is at this point, especially the Derek that we just saw, what he really is. Also, so obviously my pick is Teixeira. I think it's Teixeira by knockout. You're playing this fight not to go in some way, shape, or form. The other thing that I will say is be very cautious with what you're taking in the media from these fighters. There's been pictures circulating of Tai Tuivasa as big as a house. There's also been pictures circulating of Rafael Fiziev being as big as a house. Can we just remember that we're in the age of AI? And if you're not getting your information from a trusted source, don't buy into some Instagram post or some Twitter post from some of these fighters. Do your own research. Don't go with the masses. Don't be a sheep. Okay? Until we see these fighters on the scales, we really have no clue what they're going to look like. And that and Staffgate this year. Apparently, everybody has staff. By the way, guys, if you've been on a wrestling mat for any period of time in your life, about 50% of the gym has staff most of the time. Like, it's just kind of perpetual. So it's no big surprise. They're kind of used to fighting with it. So be careful with what you're consuming and don't buy into every picture you see. It's Teixeira by KO for me.
All right, we move on. And real quick, though, guys, this is the fight. Teixeira, Tuivasa. Put in the comments section how many significant strikes total between both guys. And we're going to use UFC.com after the fight is over to calculate it up. Closest one wins a 3-day pass. Included with the 3-day pass, you get 4% UFC, 325 and 4% boxing best bet. That is this weekend. We're still running the special about buy 7 days. Get it for the price of 3, which is by far the best deal. And we will tell you at Wager Talk, we're only allowed a certain amount of 5% plays per month. We've used all of them up. If we hadn't used all of them up, that boxing best bet would be a 5% best bet. That's a big time play for us. So, got a lot of big stuff going on. You're getting all of our NBA plays. You're going to get all of our darts plays. We had a 4% darts play on Thursday. That's the day we're recording this one. So any sport that we have, you're going to get for the 7 days. Again, don't buy a play or pack. Just get a pass. So, and these deals are going to be gone by the time January gets over. So take advantage of this one. 7 days for the price of 3. Speaking of Rafael Fiziev and Mauricio Ruffy, Huffy, however you want to pronounce it. We got Ruffy. What was their drama like? Gene Silva like unfollowed him, like you're no longer a fighting nerd. He's training with Volk. They're fighting on the same card. Kind of funny stuff going on. This is about as close to a pick 'em as it gets here. Fiziev, I guess you'd call him an underdog, plus 100, plus 105. What do you make of this fight?
I'll give you my best bet in this fight right out the gate. Fight goes the distance. All
Agreed.
firepower, both sides. Ruffy's insane knockout artist. Fiziev with the matrix move and the kicks and the combinations. Pull up these guys' records, man. They go the distance. Like Ruffy when he's fighting cans, yeah, he knocks everybody out. But Fiziev's not a can, all right? We're coming off the
No,
decision to Bahamundez, decision to Gaethje. Okay, yeah, this isn't the prime
leg
Fiziev.
injury.
And that happens, right? It's a
Yeah.
Gamrot fight. What do you think is going to happen? Of course, it's going the distance.
Yeah.
Boring
Yeah.
Gamrot, right? I think this is two technical strikers that are going to be very cautious with each other, and I think it's going to end up being a lot of stall time because they're not just going to unleash firepower at each other. Good strikers know this. Fiziev has seen people already in his career, all his kickboxing fights, that fight with that karate style, like Ruffy. The other problem that I have is why would you not attempt a takedown against Ruffy? I don't believe that going to train with Volk, all of a sudden he's going to be like a wrestling mastermind by any means. If I'm Fiziev, I'm mixing in a takedown. I'm getting him thinking about the takedown. And if you crowd this guy, he's not the same fighter. If he's not moving forward, he's not the same fighter. And we learned that in the last fight. If he's not the hammer, what kind of nail is he? And I do not believe Ruffy is a good nail at all. At all. I think he's got to lead the dance. And if he doesn't, he's just a shell of himself. So I like Fiziev, honestly, as the underdog. But my favorite play in this, I think you hold your nose and you say fight goes the distance. And it's going to be sweaty. But hey, what did we see this weekend? How many bloodbaths did we see go to the cards? We're like, how did that fight go to the distance? How did
Yeah.
Gaethje Pimblett go the distance? Like it's like, just because there's going to be firepower doesn't mean that we're going to get a finish.
Yeah, I'm with you. I lean Fiziev too, and it's just the strength of the schedule. I mean, guys fought Gaethje twice. He was in there against Gamrot. We didn't get to see a whole lot of it, but the Bahamundez, that was a really solid win. That's a long, rangy fighter that he was able to keep the distance. He got a couple takedowns, and I am worried about Ruffy's takedown defense. I also worry that Ruffy is dependent on kind of the one shot, kind of power. I mean, you look at him, gets the win on Contender Series, that's fine. Knocks out Mullarkey, and we're like, ooh, oh, James Lontop, eh. And then the spinning heel kick against King Green, it just hasn't aged well. It's pretty obvious that Bobby Green, King Green is just way past his prime. And then he did a good job getting up against Saint Denis, but eventually he just gets tired and gives up position. And I think Fiziev's got better cardio than Saint Denis. I think on the feet he
Definitely
just knows
does.
how to. I think he's got that ability to stay out of harm's way. So yeah, it's going to be Fiziev. I think if you're betting on Ruffy, you're needing that one game-changing shot. It needs to be a crazy flying knee, spinning elbow, spinning back keel thing, whatever. I don't know. It's just one of these really creative shots from Ruffy, but he's not at Fighting Nerds anymore. He's fighting with Volk. Do you think that's what they teach? That's what they work on?
I'll tell you, they work on cardio. We know that, but the wrestling, I
The
don't know.
cardio's never worried me about that. I agree with you. Fight goes the distance. That's probably the best way. So if you're betting Fiziev, it's Fiziev by decision. So I don't see a submission from either one of these guys. And then Fiziev's not a knockout guy, not at this level. So now you're just kind of narrowed yourself down to Ruffy by knockout, and I just don't see him getting it against Fiziev. So Dan Hooker, Benoit, Saint Denis. I mean, Dan Hooker fights are always a blast. I went back and watched this fight against Sarukian. Dude, Sarukian looked like the best fighter that the planet has ever created. Like insane defense. Like Dan Hooker did everything he possibly could. He was just up against a absolute machine. Now he gets Benoit Saint Denis, and he's a pretty big underdog. I'm interested in your take on this one. I don't agree with the lines.
I don't believe that Dan Hooker is here for titles. He's here to fight and get paid. Saint Denis, make what you will of the statement that he didn't even have a strength and conditioning coach and he didn't have a coach and but it all does align. This comes out after the Moicano fight, and then all of a sudden, Saint Denis rattles off 3 wins in a row, all by finish. Looks better, not a punching bag like he used to be, like he was against Moicano. I like that he's mixed in both. I'm going to say we're not going to take a damn thing away, though, from him knocking out Beneil Dariush. It is a stretch to make that a feather in your cap. The Benny that is ready for retirement, who has no chin. And we're going to make excuses and say, well, not only did he knocked him out in the first exchange. I'm sorry, guys. Benny's got no chin. Love Dariush, one of my favorite fighters of all time. Gave us great moments, but it's time. He's done. So he doesn't have this insta knockout power. I don't believe he's going to do that to Dan Hooker because you could hit Dan Hooker with a Buick and he's still going to come forward. It's been established, okay? This fight is going to be a war. I don't believe we're going to see the scorecards, and not so much from the finishing ability of both sides, but from the inability to not sustain damage from both guys. If you look at the injuries that these guys both have gone through, remember that like Dan Hooker, we all know it's not rocket science. Go back and think about the end of Saint Denis fights. Think about what he looked like at the end of the Moicano fight.
Oh man, brutal.
I mean, the second either of these guys get touched, it's going to mark up, it's going to bust open, it's going to bleed. If this is a striking fight, there will be a broken orbital, guaranteed. There'll be a broken hand. Dan Hooker breaks his hand like every fight, which I think is why he throws knees and elbows at this point, mainly because those hands just break. The bottom line is also that if Saint Denis decides to wrestle, he's going to make Dan Hooker look like a white belt. He just is. I don't think that Dan ends up on his back. He's going to be able to stay defensively sound, and the ground and pound of Saint Denis is going to lead to a submission. So I think you're getting finishing on both sides. If Saint Denis cannot take this to the ground in round 2 and round 3, Hooker is going to put it on him. He's going to stand in this pocket. He's going to spit his own blood at him, and it's going to be a war. This fight cannot be a bad fight. Like, this is one you mark down where I need to be, sitting with my popcorn from the second this bell rings because it is going to be a war for as long as it lasts. So I like the under 2.5. Fight doesn't go. Hooker's got a shot, but I'm going to go with Saint Denis by finish.
I agree that fight not to go is the obvious pick here. I will go head to head with you and side with Dan Hooker.
As if this fight wasn't fun enough already. Now we got a little skin in the game. I like it.
Dude, Sarukian looked like a freaking gladiator, man. Like the most chiseled fighter. And Dan Hooker had him in that crazy guillotine. And Sarukian almost ripped his own head off trying to get out of it. Like, who gets out of that? I'm not sure if Saint Denis has the technique to get out of that. And Sarukian, as good as he looked, he needed until the second round to get Dan Hooker out of there. What have we seen Hooker do? Make the Gamrot fight messy. Make the Jalen Turner fight messy. Finally made Claudio Puelles look like an absolute bitch. And I just can't quite get there on Saint Denis. I don't know why. Like, I put nothing into the Dariush. Ruffy, it turns out, has terrible takedown defense, but Ruffy was able to get up multiple times. Kyle Perpola, give me a break. I don't put anything by that. And yeah, you're right. He sustained a lot of damage, Saint Denis. Dan Hooker is going to make this a brawl. Every Dan Hooker fight turns into this. And Sarukian was able to stick to his game plan and his guns because he's super disciplined. And I just don't know if Saint Denis can help himself. If Hooker starts landing some punches, does Saint Denis kind of forget, hey, get this guy to the ground? Your wrestling is better than his. I think it's a sprinkle on Hooker, but you're right. The best bet is this fight not to go the distance. I don't know what the lines are, but it's a parlay piece. Yeah, Hooker turns this into a striking match and someone goes to sleep, or Saint Denis does get him on the ground and chokes him out. But I would not be surprised if Saint Denis is huffing and puffing at some point in the second or third round if it gets there and Hooker gets the finish. So I think there's worse underdogs on this card than Dan Hooker at this plus 300 or whatever he is. So
also watch out for the adrenaline dump for Saint Denis. Hooker is so good at almost being finished and not. And we know what happens to fighters when they almost get to finish, and the
I
fight
see
has
what
to
you're saying.
continue. You get me?
I see what you're
So
saying. Okay.
like you're saying, with maybe Saint Denis starts huffing and puffing, if he drops Hooker once or twice, and Dan's still sitting there smiling at him, like,
Saint
uh
Denis
oh,
jumps in, tries the ground and pound,
yeah.
doesn't get it. Hooker stands up. Saint Denis doesn't get the finish, and all of a sudden, yeah, it's a good call. It's a good call. All right, moving on to the main event, and then we're going to do our parlay buster and our woulda, coulda, shoulda. And if you guys please hit the like button, really appreciate it. It's a token of appreciation. If there's one thing you can do to help us out, please hit the like button. Leave a comment below. Tell us what your best bet is. More importantly, tell us how many significant strikes in the Tuivasa Teixeira fight combined between both fighters will give away a 3-day pass. And again, our 4 winners from last week. Need you guys to put your Wager Talk username in the comment section below, and I'm going to give you a 3-day pass onto your account. Okay, Volkanovski, Diego Lopes rematch. Kind of the same price here. Call it minus 150. It's about minus 145, minus 148, depending on where you look. You think this goes the same way? You think Lopes makes some adjustments? How do you see it? How do you see it going down?
Diego Lopez's last fight, I would say that we all got to see what we want him to be and what we think he can be, which is just a violent, just willing to give one to take one, gets the finish, mixes in the wrestling, gets mount, just shows beautiful grappling, takes shots, gives them back. It was awesome. Absolutely awesome fight against Gene Silva. But I think that's attributed to Gene Silva being a great dance partner for that kind of fight. That is not Alexander Volkanovski. Volk doesn't have to impress anybody. He's not coming in there trying to get any kind of clout. He's done more than 90% of the people in this industry have. His job is to go out and win a fight. And that's what he did against Diego the first time. He went out there and won a fight and won a decision. And way back when we first started getting to be able to bet on Volkanovski as champion, we had the old, what we dubbed it, the escalator play with Volk, right? The dude he goes the distance. Like, yeah, he got knocked out by Micallef. Okay, it is what it is. Everybody gets clipped. But Volk is the guy that is built for 5 rounds and has no problem using up time while winning rounds. He will eat 3 minutes of time in 5 rounds just using movement to set things up. So you're already taking away moments. You're taking away time. You're taking away opportunities for a fighter like Diego Lopes to pull guard, jump guillotine, whatever he's going to do with spinning elbow, right, that he hits Silva with. What's the over-under on how many times he throws a spinning elbow, by the way, in this fight?
Yeah, and Volk's
3,
going to be
4?
ready for it.
He'll be ready for it.
Volk's going to be ready. By the way, you said what's the move of 2026?
It's
the spinning elbow. Yeah, for sure.
Take a drink every time someone throws a spinning elbow. Make sure it's low alcohol content or you're going to be asleep by the main event.
It's white claws.
Did we see it from Derek Lewis, too? Derek Lewis throw the spinning elbow? One of those two knuckleheads.
We saw like 3 or 4 of them.
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
I think this is going to go the same. I really wanted to bet Diego, but when I took my heart out of it and I look at the resume of Volk and just the fact that this is his weight class, he's so much better at this weight class. I think it's more the same. I think we see a close decision, but the champion ekes it out on home turf to kick off the year. There is going to be a point in which we fade Volk, but I think he's just got the recipe to beat Lopes. And if he doesn't get the dance partner like he did with Silva, it's going to be a Volk fight. And, like remember like Holloway, 2 rounds in, we'd be live betting, go, it's a Holloway fight. It's going to be max for 5. It's the same thing with Volk. 2 rounds in, you go, okay, it's a Volk fight. It's going to be him by decision.
Yeah, I not quite ready to bet on Lopes here just yet. Like, I mean, he got on top of Silva. Silva got up, even though, Lopes did damage. And don't forget, Silva was putting it on Lopes when he hit that spinning back elbow. I mean, Silva had him on his back foot. It wasn't like Lopes was dominating the entire fight. He just got, Silva, who got over emotional and got let it get the best of him, and it cost him. I think I'm with you. Volk is 37. It's coming. It's coming for Volk where you're going to be like, oh, he's old. I'm with you. I don't think this is it. What is this? 10 months since his last fight, probably good enough for him to heal up, get in the right headspace. He's been open about, hey, keep me busy. I need to be in my right headspace. But I think this is a good spot for him. I'm not sold that Diego Lopes is. I don't know. He needs to step it up just a level. Like the fact is, he dropped the Volk once, put a cut on him, and that was his one shining moment in that fight. There really wasn't a whole lot of upside. Maybe he learns from it, but not really sure what his upside is at this point. I love fight goes the distance. Volk's been knocked out by two guys. Micallef when he took a fight on short notice, and Topuria. That's it. So is Lopes knocking out Volk? No. Is he subbing Volk? Well, have fun with that. You're going to have to get Volk on the ground. Lopes ain't wrestling Volk to the ground. He's not. And if he does happen to wrestle Volk to the ground, Volk's going to pop right back up. He's just too strong. Volk's not the knockout guy. He's not subbing Lopes. I love this fight to go the distance. You're getting a great price on fight goes the distance. So, I don't mind your escalator plays fight to start round 2, round 3, round 4, round 5. So it's Volk. It's Volk by decision for me.
So we're saying how much we love Volk. Well, why haven't you bet it? There's an elephant in the room that we haven't spoke about.
Yeah, I'm going to be low volume on
No
on UFC plays. Well, I can tell you why.
Okay.
Yeah, I can tell you. Last week I got cooked. Live betting was terrible for me. I thought O'Malley was done. I thought Song Yadong won. I still think that. I can't believe they gave O'Malley that decision. On the flip side, I won because I can't believe they gave Natalia Silva that decision. So I have a couple of other bets, but at this point with UFC right now, I do not want to bet on the marquee big fights. There's just a weirdness in the air. I'm going to be pretty patient, and to be honest, I'm sticking to the undercards. Until further notice, your boy is not betting on main cards unless there's something pretty obvious. Like I will say, I will be betting on Talis and Teixeira to finish Tuivasa. Like Tuivasa is not a main card guy, except when they're in Australia, and then they put him on it. That's why he's on the main card. This we're in Vegas, no chance. You think he's fighting on the next Iowa card? No.
Well, here's what I totally forgot about Volk, and I'm glad you said the 10 months off. What was Alexander Volkanovski doing for 10 months?
Well, we hope he was taking care of himself and training and getting in shape.
He was taking care of his pocketbook. Alexander Volkanovski's been filming a movie.
Oh, Lord. Oh, I didn't know about this. Oh, yeah, another reason why
Alex
I'm glad I didn't bet
Volkanovski
this.
is in the new Street Fighter movie.
Oh, they're making a new...
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
It's going to be as bad as it sounds.
That sucks. I was like, Volk.
I know.
Oh, no.
I know.
Why can't they do the Street Fighter movie right?
So Volkanovski's been playing a character in Street Fighter. They've been filming it. He's been doing his cooking show. I would love to bet Volkanovski. But it's not Chun-Li or Ihan.
Volk.
I can't bet on these guys when they start doing movies. We've seen this script time and time again. When your interests start going elsewhere, you got to stay away. I think Volk wins. The whole reason I'm not pushing him as a bet is as soon as I heard we're filming a movie, I'm out when it comes to martial arts. I'm just out. Your interests are somewhere else. So take that into account. Make your own decisions. Decide what you want to do with it. Just trying to give you as much information as we can with our own research here.
All right, it's time for Woulda, Coulda, Shoulda, and the Parlay Buster. We'll do the Parlay Buster first. This is a fight, a parlay piece, or something we think everybody's going to be betting on, and we're here to say, be careful with this one. So, all right. Do you have a Parlay Buster?
I don't have a strong feeling on a specific parlay buster. I actually feel most of them are going to win. So I'm kind of looking at it like, are we going to do the Australia parlay? I'm assuming that's going to be very popular. Let's put the Australian guys together.
Oh,
and I think that parlay
you're putting
done.
Tafa, you're putting Tuivasa in those. No way.
Listen, man. Again, most bet stuff. I don't know. I don't think it's Rowston. I don't think Junior like Billy Elekana's not going to drop the ball against Junior Tafa. I'm going to go the main event. I think there's going to be. I don't know. Are you parlaying Diego? No, right?
No, I'll give you mine. It's Saint Denis.
Go ahead. You go Saint Denis.
Everyone's going to put Saint Denis in there. Oh, he's going to take Hooker down. Hooker just got finished by Saruki, and I think you're going to be terrified if you're holding a Saint Denis tick and this thing goes into the third round and both guys are bloodied up and Hooker's laughing on the stool and Saint Denis gasping for air. So I'll go Saint Denis as my parlay buster.
I'm not even going to force another one. That's the closest one that I could got to. I'm not going to give you a pick just to pick it. I don't think there's big parlays on this. I just don't.
Okay. All right. Woulda, coulda, shoulda. This is the bet. At the end of the night, we're like, damn it, why didn't we put more money on that one?
Cam Rowston by finish over Cody.
Okay.
Brundage. When he smokes Cody, would have won 2. And Cody looks for the door, and it looks like the easiest finish ever. Cody gets hit once and shells up, and Rowston doesn't hit him in the back of the head. Kick him in the body. Just stay away from the back of his head, please.
You hit him in the ankles. He'll give up, I promise you.
Yeah, it's Cam Rowston by finish. That's my favorite bet.
Mine's Taliesin Teixeira by KO in rounds 1 and 2 against Tuivasa. This Tuivasa thing, they just keep trotting him out for these Australian cards. When I saw he was fighting it, I was like, I keep forgetting this that they keep him around literally just for the Australian cards. Literally, they keep him around just for when they go to Australia. They can trot him out, and this is a nice get right spot. So
he's like that box of screws you have in your boiler room that you're like, I really should throw these away. I've had them for 20 years, but as soon as you throw them away, you're gonna need them.
You're like, damn it, I need to hang up a picture.
Darn, I need that screw. You got Tuivasa just sitting in the closet.
All right. Thanks very much for joining us, guys. Again, comment below how many significant strikes between Taliesin Teixeira and Tuivasa win a free 3-day pass. We will be live on the Wager Talk channel a half hour before the fight start. We'll go over the live closing lines. We'll go over any props that we have for that fight, as well as any NBA, NHL, anything you guys want to talk about. Props are starting to come out for the Super Bowl. We can talk about anything there. We'll go over recap, talk about some real money. How we did last week, how we're doing this week, things like that. So that's a half hour before the show, and then we will be on the normal Winning in the Shadows YouTube channel for the live show for UFC 325. Hope everyone can join us. Good luck on your bets, and we'll see everyone later. Take care.
See you Saturday.